Welcome, guys, to another year conclusion. And that's saying a bunch because I only posted 2 videos this year, and one of those include last year's top 10 movies. I really wasn't consistent on videos, which sucks. Demotivized, and a bunch of stuff has happened to me that has not allowed me, I mean, like, I haven't wanted to create, which sucks. But I'm finally at a point where I'm gonna test some new things out. I've been preparing a new A-list video. But anyways, we are here to do the top 10 movies of 2021. The best movies, the must-sees movies. We are here to do that. And I am here once again joined by my very good friend, Zack Moncrief. How you doing?
Very good friend. Moving up in the world.
So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to start off with our best of the year. We're going to have 5 honorable mentions, and then we'll go into our top 10. That's how we're going to do it. So, Zack, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
My honorable mentions go as The French Dispatch, Being the Ricardos, The Last Duel, No Time to Die, and Free Guy. Free Guy was in there for a very long time. I think it was even in the top 5 at one point. I thought about more scenes in it. I'm like, I didn't really care for that much, even though I loved really a lot of aspects of it. I love Free Guy, but there was some things that bugged me, so that's why I got moved down. No Time to Die was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I enjoyed a lot of it, but the villain was very weak, and the ending kind of sucked ass, in my opinion. The Last Duel, I think it's fantastic. The reason it's not in my top 10 is because the rewatchability scenes is not there. The Being Ricardos is great. I've already seen it twice. I saw it again on Christmas Day because family went to see it. And I thought it was a good movie. For instance, Dispatch, I really like this movie. I know someone else here doesn't like that movie. So we're now going into our top 10 movies of the year. I will start. My number 10 is Drive My Car. So this is a foreign movie. I think it's front runner to win best foreign film of the year. This movie is outstanding. It makes you think a lot. You go through a big portion of this main character's life. The one complaint of this movie is I do feel the runtime, and it's there. It's almost a 3-hour long movie. The reason it's in here is because I felt so much with the story. It was so well executed. The shots were beautiful. The score was fantastic. Most of his world is just a car, and that is amazing. And don't get me wrong with me saying that. He's not in a car for the entire movie. It's not like Locke. It's not that. All right, Zack, what is your number 10?
These are going to be completely different lists. Already can tell. My number 10, I went more with the
Marvel.
No, not yet. Ghostbusters Afterlife.
I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, it's one of the only movies this year that I was like, it was just fun from start to beginning. Like, I had a smile. Like, I'm not even that big of a Ghostbusters fan. Yeah.
What are you talking about? You have every Ghostbusters Funko Pop imaginable. Yeah. All right, so my number 9 is Spencer, the Kristen Stewart movie. This movie,
another one I did not see.
This movie's so good. It is by far. Would I say it's the most? There's another movie that's later on my list. I would say that it looks good, but Spencer looks phenomenal. The acting is incredible. The set design is just phenomenal. Music choices are fantastic. Just everything about this movie kept you on your feet too, and it was just a fantastic world to live in. You felt like cozy watching it, but also not.
My number 9 is probably higher up on your list. Last Night in Soho.
What? Edgar Wright movie made it in your top 10? This is revolutional, Zack. This is revolutional.
This is my favorite Edgar Wright movie, but the thing is, it could move down. I never rewatched it. I want to see how if the thrilling parts still hold up and the twists and turns and stuff. But this is one of the best visually looking movies of the year. Fun to watch and interesting to watch at the same time, which can't say about most movies.
Yeah,
you know,
true.
in any year for sure. So I just thoroughly liked watching it, the performances and just the look and score.
So my number 8 is hopefully on your list because I think you enjoyed it. My number 8 is Dune. I love Dune. It was fantastic. As a person that read the book and is super excited for this movie, the book was awful. I didn't like the book. But I was excited to see the movie still because of Denis Villeneuve. The first movie that really made me appreciate cinematography was Blade Runner 2049. So anyways, going into this movie, the casting amazing. After reading the book, the characters I really felt in the actors that are playing them. And wow, this movie was fantastic. I saw it in IMAX and it was so good. And as someone that read the book, I loved the first part of the book more than the second half of the book. So this is what I was mainly looking for, is this part.
My number 8 is West Side Story. Did you see it? You didn't like it?
No, I didn't like it. I don't like those type of musicals. And you're a Spielberg fanboy, so I knew it was going to be on your list.
But I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I loved the way it looked. I thought the runtime went super fast. I thought I was gonna like it on a Spielberg level because he always shoots his movies. They're all pretty to look at and stuff. So I was like, I'll probably like that aspect of it, but I didn't. I liked everything. Like it had some more tension that the first one didn't have.
So number 7 for me is going to be a shot to you, Zach. It is A Quiet Place Part 2.
I thought it was going to be on your list. Actually.
I love this movie. This movie means more to me than just the movie. It's part of the experience. I'm not going to get into that. This movie was fantastic. After waiting a year after to watch A Quiet Place, I watched it and I was blown away. I was like, this movie's fantastic. I loved it. And then, of course, I was kind of excited. I think it was barely off my top 10 and most anticipated of the year. Quiet Place Part 2 was, but that was a different part of the world at that time. So no telling if it was going to come out. So I saw it and I was like, this movie's fantastic. I love how it expands the world. We see these new places. I love how there's these big locations and we get development in the world too. I love Emily
Blunt.
Yeah, Emily Blunt. She's great. And Noah Jupe's one of the best. I think he is the best kid actor out there right now. Cillian Murphy's fantastic. I think this movie's fantastic.
My number 7 is The Suicide Squad.
Okay.
I saw this movie 3 times in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of had to be in the top 10. I mean, I only saw one movie more. And I mean, it just has to be in the list because I saw it so many times compared to, the other ones. And it's I liked that. It was just fun and dark and just crazy. It was just pure craziness. The villain's a big starfish. That's just
Starro.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, it's just I like that it just goes for it.
My number 6 is a movie you definitely haven't seen, but you guarantee, I'm sure you guessed it. It was going to be on my list, and that is The Tinder Bar, the new Ben Affleck movie.
Oh, yeah.
My boy.
It comes out the 7th, right? I think it's the 7th.
So as soon as I heard the concept for this movie, I was like, perfect. Ben Affleck as a bartender. Thank you. I will be getting my ticket. It was a great little slice of life movie that I really found myself enjoying. I do want to see it a second time because it might switch around there. But I really, really did enjoy it. The soundtrack is fantastic, which is a big part for me. Soundtrack is, I thought this movie was fantastic. I definitely recommend seeing this movie if you guys can, especially when it comes out on Amazon Prime. You should definitely give it a watch because I don't think a lot of people see this in theaters, and that's fine. Just watch it on Amazon Prime and see Ben Affleck in a great role.
My number 6 is a kids movie. I don't know if anyone's heard, it's made for kids, ShangChi. This movie, it was I wanted to see it. Of course, I think it may have been on my anticipated list, but it was just because I never heard of it. It seemed the director's hit or miss kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. But the only thing is I've only seen this movie once compared to some of the other movies. But yeah, I like the chemistry between what's his name? Is it Simi? What's his the main
It's
actor
like
guy?
it's a Simi Lu or something like that.
Yeah, him and Aquin. Oh my
Aquafina.
God, yeah,
Aquafina.
Aquafina was just
Aquafina.
yeah. I can't even think.
Coming back around for my number 5, we have Last Night in Soho, which is probably a shot to you that it's up at 5.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be 2.
Yeah, exactly. So I rewatched this movie last night just to see exactly where it stood. And I had some trouble getting through the movie. And it sucks to say that, but like I wasn't feeling it. I felt like I could do other things while watching it. What is your number 5, Zach?
Not on your list. I don't think you saw it this year, but that's okay. Bo Burnham's Inside.
Nope, I didn't see it, but I know how much you love this movie.
It's I can't believe it's at 5, to be honest. I thought it was going to be in the top 3.
Yeah, me too, after as much as you watched this movie.
Yeah, well, I only watched this one 3 times. It's not Make Happy. Make Happy would probably be 1 just because I saw it 15 times. But this movie,
God.
I guess it's more of a musical. I don't know what to categorize it. The songs are so catchy. I think I love them all, except for one of them's like I'll skip when it comes up on my phone. But I'll listen to it sometimes. But the songs are catchy. I think, like I guess you call them skits or something, and in between the songs.
My number 4 is Coda. This almost did not make my top 10. But I was so confused on where to put this movie. I rewatched it last night, and wow, this movie is fantastic. It's so good. It's so feel good. Amelia Jones is great. I loved her ever since Lock and Key. I like Lock and Key, the show. So I liked her ever since then. Just like the one scene that blows my mind is when it's the ending with the song they've been practicing all movie, and then it goes and it cuts to the point of view of the parents and then goes silent. I'm like, oh, this is just amazing. And then seeing people's reaction, it's just beautiful. It's fantastic. The music is great in this movie too. Just this movie's so well done, and it's great to see the kid from Sing Street in it.
My number 4, I think you saw it, but it's not on your list. Our Friend.
Yes, I saw it. Yeah, I saw it right when it came out on iTunes. I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah. This movie, it was number 1 for a good bit.
Yeah. You love this movie. I remember when you first saw it.
The biggest thing with this movie, not very rewatchable.
Yeah, it's super sad.
It, but I mean, it's a tough rewatch. It's kind of like Manchester by the Sea, I guess. It's great on so many levels, but this movie just got no attention. I've never heard anyone talk about it.
I did when it was first in the festival circuit. That's the only thing I heard about it. My number 3 is a foreign film that I was really excited for, seemed right up my alley, and I was completely right about it. And that is The Worst Person in the World. This movie is stunning. It is one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen, period. And it is just fantastic. And a lot of people probably haven't heard of this that's here. So I want to kind of explain what this movie is. It's about a girl in her 30s trying to figure out who she is. Like who she is as a person in a relationship, who she is as a daughter, who she is in work. And it's told in many different ways, and it's told in segments. Like it has 9 chapters, the prologue and ending epilogue. And it's just fantastic in that way. It is a beautiful movie, very well acted. I really love the story of this movie. It is just a phenomenal movie. It even got announced that it's getting a Criterion this year, which, oh my God, I can't wait for. This movie is just this movie's fantastic. I love it so much. It's a recent watch, so I don't have that much thoughts. It hasn't really lingered on my mind a lot, but I definitely hit in some places that I really, really do like. So, Worst Person in the World is number 3. What is your number 3, Zach? My
number 3 is Dune.
Okay.
Like everything you said, it's so visually stunning. I will compare it to Lord of the Rings a little bit because it's one of the only movies that I've seen that has that epic vibe.
Yeah.
Like it just like when I was watching it, it just felt like I was watching something so big and I can't believe they made kind of thing where like I haven't gotten that like it's only something that happens every few years if and like it just felt so big and it's just I can't even describe it. When I was done watching I was like it just felt I'm not comparing it to Lord of the Rings like story wise, just the feeling wise, like it's just so big.
So my number 2 is a movie I know you haven't seen but you should see as soon as possible, and that is Red Rocket. Oh my god, I love this movie. Simon Rex is fantastic. But the real standout for me is the soundtrack and the use of music in this movie because it hasn't been done in fucking years, Zach, how good this music is. They used the song Bye 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 by NSYNC a lot in this movie, and it is crazy on how good they do it and how they made this song really, like, now when I hear Bye Bye Bye, I'm going to think something completely different. It is fantastic. I love every part of this movie. And one big fear I had about this movie was a big age gap thing that was put in the mix. They said like there is like I don't know 40-something-year-old dating like a 17-year-old, which I felt very weird about throughout the entire movie of watching it. And the movie ended, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. Then I watched like reviews, and a lot of people said that like that's what you're supposed to feel like when watching this. This is what you're supposed to feel, this ickiness and how bad this person is. And I'm like, you're right. And then I watched it again. I was like, holy crap. Yes, this movie is so good.
Coda's my number 2.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I know what your number 1 is now.
Yeah, of course. Everyone knows what my number 1 is. Coda, it was just this is another one I kind of put off seeing because it had a lot of like everyone was kind of, like at least on Twitter, everyone was like Coda's so good, Coda. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna watch it for a little bit just because I don't like being up in the hype, of something like But then I watched it, and it was just like it was a movie that I think everyone can relate to, which is super rare.
My number 1 is my boy Andrew Garfield and Tick, Tick, Boom, baby. Holy crap.
I didn't put that honorable mention because I knew you were going to talk about it.
I told you that I love this movie, and you're like, I'm not going to watch it. That's what you told me. It's exactly what you told me. I'm like, I love this movie. This movie blew me away. Like I said about West Side Story, I did not like any of the songs. I love every single one of these songs in this movie. Maybe not the apartment song, but I like it here and there. This is like the only musical I think I've ever had where I had the music in my Spotify playlist and I listen to on a daily. Like the very few when that happens. And wow, this movie did it. Andrew Garfield gets a Oscar-nominated performance here. Regardless if he gets snobbed again like he did for Social Network. Basically, he is fantastic. I love this movie so much. This is, I would say, maybe in top 5 of rewatchability for me. Like, I saw this movie 3 times, and I don't really do that. And I had a trip planned to New York, and I was like, if they're playing this movie in a theater in New York, I'm gonna go see it because I loved it, and we had to cancel it because of COVID and all that. That's another story. Anyways, I was so excited for this movie, and I was like, oh shit, this movie seems right up my alley. And I stayed up till 2:00 in the morning. I watched it, and it hit everything about it. Just the whole story behind Jonathan Larson and dying right before the first performance is heartbreaking.
SpiderMan No Way Home.
Let's go.
This is definitely not the best movie of the year. Like. But
it doesn't matter what other people think, Zach. If this is your number 1, then it's your number 1. Don't downplay it.
It's definitely a lot deeper than I was ever expecting it to be. I thought since everyone's seen it, I'm spoiling it. I thought
spoiler, guys.
Toby and Garfield was just gonna be like how they did in Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
That's what I was expecting. But when they showed up halfway, a little over halfway during the movie, I was like, oh, this is interesting. And they actually definitely gave Garfield a chance to show everyone, because I did like the first Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I always liked him as Spider-Man. It was just he's never had that great movie kind
He
of
was
thing.
always my favorite, period. And when I was walking into the movie, I was like, there's only one thing I want in this movie is Andrew Garfield. And he is the reason why I love this movie.
He's delivered.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield's the best part of the movie. That's why it's not in my top 10, because if I'm saying he's my favorite part of the movie, then the other parts of the movie didn't work for me. So, like, that's the reason it's not in my top 10, because he was my favorite part of the movie, easily.
I think Holland gives the best performance out of any Spider-Man. And this movie never felt cheap for me. I love the ending. This trilogy was an origin story.
Yeah, I thought that was great. Yeah.
I guess it's the second to last scene when he's talking to Zendaya and he's gonna tell her, you know, he notices that she has a cut and he's like, oh, I did that to her.
Yeah.
I can't be with her.
Okay, so to recap our list, I'll start with mine. At number 10, Drive My Car. Number 9, Spencer. Number 8, Dune. Number 7, A Quiet Place Part 2. Number 6, The Tinder Bar. Number 5, Last Night in Soho. Number 4, Coda. Number 3, The Worst Person in the World. Number 2, Red Rocket. And number 1, Tick, Tick, Boom. What is yours, Zach?
10 is Ghostbusters Afterlife. 9, Last Night in Soho. 8, West Side Story. 7, The Suicide Squad. 6, ShangChi. 5, Bo Burnham's Inside. 4, Our Friend. 3, Dune. 2, Coda. And 1, that child classic of the year film, Spider-Man No Way.
There's no way that I can fuck with that. There's no way that I can fuck with you.